Hey everyone, welcome to Crypto Bytes. I'm Brian, and today we're going to be going through Meteora, one of the top DEXs on Solana, and probably my favorite both DeFi farming and airdrop opportunity that I'm currently working on right now. So yeah, let's dive right in. So for those of you that aren't aware, Meteora is a DEX on Solana. They have over 100 million in TVL, so they're quite large. I think only Raydium and potentially Orca are bigger than them. So definitely a lot of volume here. Before I get into what my current strategy is with what I've been doing with Meteora, let me share with you kind of the airdrop opportunity that they've announced quite a number of months ago. And that is basically here. So, there's not been a lot of information that has come out other than this post back at the beginning of 2024. I've been farming this since late 2023, so even before this came out, I was already, farming on Meteora because they have really great APYs, which we'll get into in a second. But basically for the airdrop is the main criteria are both the amount of TVL, so you get 1 point for every $1 of TVL that you have, and then fees that you're generating or earning, you get 1,000 points per $1 of fees earned. And so with that in mind, what I've been focused on is one, trying to get as much TVL as possible, and then also using the concentrated liquidity pools to generate as many fees as possible. So let me go through what the different options are here on Meteora, and then I'll get into more of what exactly I'm doing, since I haven't really seen anyone out there talking about their strategy on Meteora, or at least not the way that I'm doing it. So maybe I'm completely crazy and wrong, which, not financial advice. I am just kind of playing along as I go. But yeah, let's get into it. So the first option here really is what they call dynamic pools. So with this, you just pick whichever pools that you want to, add your TVL, your cash into, and then you can see here the APYs can be, from as little as 1% per year to some of these have, 999 plus percent per year for the higher pools. I had been using dynamic pools primarily for like the last 6 or 7 months, but I've noticed recently that a lot of the meme coin pools that I had been using have been getting, for lack of a better term, just kind of going garbage. A lot of garbage coins coming out, whereas before it seemed like the number of new meme coin pools being added per day were not that many. Now it's getting quite dilutive, and so it's just been difficult without having to dive deeper into which coins I want to get. That I've had, more losers and winners as of late. So what I've done for the last month is I've switched over to this DLM tab, which is basically their concentrated liquidity. And so here, there's a ton of pools as well. And, you can get really great APYs. This is 24-hour APYs, 24, this is the daily APY. So in this case, I picked the pool that had 999%. That's how much that's paying per day. Whereas on the dynamic tab, that's on a yearly basis. So you can find some pretty crazy yearly APYs on this concentrated liquidity tab. Obviously there's going to be more risk the higher the APY, but you can find some pretty good stuff here. So my strategy basically has been is that I, on a whole, believe that that Solana, the token and the ecosystem, is going to continue to grow, and the prices are going to continue to increase. And so, without getting into too deep into which specific coins I want to invest in, as far as my strategy here on Meteor is instead I'm just basically going for pools that have a TVL of greater than $1,000 in it, and then the daily APY is 1% or higher. So basically high APY pools, and then the amount that I'm willing to invest in the entire Meteor approach, which currently is a few $1,000s. I'll split that evenly among each pool. So I'm not favoring one over the other. I'm simply saying, okay, if I find a pool I want, I'll start with say $50 in it. I'll let it go. If it ends up breaking out of the concentrated range that I'm setting, then I'll look at the APY. If it's still above 1% per day, then I'll set it up again and let it keep going. If it ends up going below 1% APY per day, then I'll withdraw my funds from that pool and find another one. So that's kind of at a high level my approach. So the way that looks is I'll sort this page by TVL. I do this on a daily basis. It takes an hour or two, depending on how many new pools are being added each day that I want to get into and or that I need to get out of. Obviously, if you don't have as much time as I do to do this, then you'll want to just check it less often than I do. But the way that I pretty much determine which pools I'm going to go with is I'll sort the whole page by TVL, and then I'll just start scrolling down until I see a pool that has a 24-hour fee where the top is greater than 1%. So, we can go to here. We see the first one that comes up with that is this Sol USDC. Now there's 67 pools, so I'll click on this. The first one is paying over 1%. So usually what I'll do is if multiple pools pay more than 1%, I'll take the one that has the most TVL because the probability that it stays at this higher rate is higher because it's already been able to sustain this level of APY even as the pool has been growing. But you can probably see down here, there'll probably be something, see this one slightly higher, less TVL. And then the one that probably has the 999% probably has almost no TVL in it. Almost pretty much none here. So looks like people got in and got out and it just stayed there because it'll update tomorrow. So once I determine a pool that I want to get into, let's go ahead and click on that. Now, obviously with this, Sol is the main asset, so I'm confident that, there's not going to be a rug or something that happens with it. But, I get into a decent amount of meme coin pools, some that might be, fairly new launches. And so the first thing that I'll do is I'll click on the token here, and this cool new kind of UI that Meteora just brought out like in the last week or so is I'll give you this, and then I'll go to rug check. What they do is, have a variety of different factors, and they'll, oh, that did not work. Let's try it just on the USDC. So yeah, what they do is they, oh geez, not working too well there. Let's go ahead and pick another one. All right, well, let's pretend that this win pool is over 1%. And so, yeah, what I'll do is I'll click on rug check here. And it gives you a status of it's good, warning, danger. I think they might have one or two other ones, but pretty much what I'm looking for is a good rating. So they do a number of different checks to make sure that the smart contract doesn't have like freeze capabilities or that there's not a high concentration of owners, things like that. So this has helped me a lot to make sure that I'm not getting into a brand new meme coin that has some warnings that they might end up freezing the token, rugging, etc. So once I've found that it passes the rug check test, then I'll come down here, add liquidity, and by default, pretty much all these concentrated liquidity pools have 69 bins set for the range, and so depending on the token pair that I'm using, I'll see, has it been up or down recently? If it's been up, then I'll skew the range to be, if I, assuming that I think it has a possibility of going down, I'll skew the range to go a little bit lower. So say I'd move this to like 5.9%, and then to balance it out to get it back to 69, I'll bring it down to here like that. So once I've done that, I'll put in the amounts that I want so that it gets to my kind of baseline, let's say $50, $100, whatever, you can afford and you're looking to put in. And then, I'll create the pool and that's that. And then I'll move back to my list and I'll keep going down until I get to the pools that have less than 1,000 TVL in it. And I'll be pretty much done for my day at that point. So at a high level, that's what I'm doing is I'm going through the DLM pools, finding the pools that have greater than 1,000 TVL, have 1% or greater daily APY, and then I am putting an even amount of capital into each of those based on my bankroll and just everyday monitoring and moving in and out of the pools that continue to be 1% or not. If the pool goes below 1,000 TVL while I'm in it, generally, I'll just let it go as long as the APY is fine. And yeah, that's pretty much been my strategy with Meteora. So with that said, hope this was helpful for you, and we'll see you again next time.